And we're back. And of course, Christmas is only getting closer. And as the weekend approaches, we know what's going to happen. You've started cleaning. You've done all the chair covers, whatnot. Usually the painting is one of the last things to happen. Want to make sure you get the job done right. So we have with us our friends from Brothers Habet to tell us a bit about how to select the right paint for the type of textures you have at home, and how to get the most bang for your buck while you're doing it. So we have with us the paint specialist. I like that title. Cynthia Yates is with us, and we have Carla Habet, who is the manager of Brothers Habet. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, ladies. Thank you for having us.
Okay, so we have a few walls we can give you to just, show us how this paint works.
They wanted us to bring brushes, but I said real-time painting might not be exactly what...
Yeah.
It's not as glamorous as it might seem, right?
Actually, I love painting my walls and my room.
do?
Yes, I find it very therapeutic, actually.
Okay, there you go. Well, we have a couple cans waiting for you at Brothers Habet.
So that's good.
Brought them here.
While you're at it, we have a couple walls too that maybe you want to service.
All right, but let's talk about this time of year. Are we seeing the same influx of persons coming in to get paint?
I think so. By and large, I think people are serious about getting their projects done still, which I think is good, given that, movement and all these things are limited. I think people still take a lot of pride in their homes. I think that's like a typical Belizean tradition too. Cynthia could probably speak a little bit more to, I guess, how they're kind of coming in now as opposed to the past. I know we're doing a lot more digital stuff as well, like over Facebook, WhatsApp. So people are changing their habits.
But how do you pick colors online? I don't like it. I think you see one color on the computer, and then when you put it on, it's...
And then it's all about oxidization. When you see it in the can, it gets darker when it's on the wall.
Okay, see, that's outside of my scope of knowledge. But Cynthia can tell us.
Yes. Good morning once again. The painting season has begun, and we have seen people still coming in and doing the same traditional painting, because as we say, during this time in the pandemic, people still take care of their house and still have pride in what they do. Yes, so we are seeing a lot of customers coming in to get their paint during this time. No?
What's the hot color this year?
It still remain grays. I don't know what about gray. I don't know what about grays. Still remain gray. There's a lot of different shade of gray. And people are going on Pinterest, bringing this color, bringing a little color swatch, bringing the cushion case, whatever, to get the correct color. No?
I think the grays are with the coolness of your home, right? People feel like if it's white or to a certain shade of gray, the home remains in a certain cool environment. I don't know if that's a placebo or if it's true. It's just what people say. They remain their house white, their walls are gray, so that it keeps nice and cool in the house. I don't know.
Well, gray seems to be a cozy color during this Christmas season, and a trendy color. If you go on some website and you look for the most popular color for 2021, you will find out that it's some shade of gray. Yes, it's not the traditional gray that we used to, but different shade. You get a blue gray.
Yeah.
You get gray with some green shade in it, and so you get like almost, like you say, 50 shades of gray. Well, we have 50 shades of gray. You could get almost...
that, Cynthia? Remind me.
Yes. You could colors that you won't even think it's great. It's great to them. You have this gray with a little...
But here's the thing. The great thing about gray is that you could spice it up with whatever you want.
Yes.
You could do gray with red, gray with blue, gray with even the hot colors, like the bright colors. Are you finding that that's kind of the route that people are going?
Yes. Sometimes it's one main wall, and they accessorize it with different things. But gray tends to be a color that matches almost any other color that you want to.
That's right. So we see people coming in for different shades of gray at Brothers Habet, and you have to guide them through the process of selecting paint. Now, I have very limited paint knowledge. Maybe April will know more. But how do I even know what to choose?
Well, it all depends on the surface that you have, the texture of the wall. As I say, if you're going to paint, for example, your bathroom, you will want a paint that cannot hold handprint so easily or get affected by the moisture and different things.
Okay.
And in that case, we will guide you to maybe semi-gloss or satin.
Okay, so bathroom you want semi-gloss or satin?
bathroom or kitchen area, any area that is more moist, those tend to do a better job.
Okay. So that's one option. Now, if it's my living room or bedroom, what am I looking for?
You can look at flat. You can look at same semi-glass. Semi-glass or, or yes, flat semi-glass or other we have Sutton.
You want to join that party that just started? What happened? So we're saying flat for living room, bedrooms.
Yes.
You could still do
You could
semi-glass.
still do semi-glass. It's your choice of the sheen.
Okay.
But those flat is more forgiving too. If you have an area that is not very smooth, flat is more forgiving. You will see flat. But if you use a semi-glass on an area that it has texture there is not well smooth, then you will see all the curves and the bumps in that semi-glass or glass.
Yeah.
Which is something that you might recall seeing in people's houses and wonder why it looks like that.
Yeah.
When I go to select paint, I always see the options of eggshell, matte, and glass, and I forgot the other one. What does that do for the paint and where the surface that you put it on?
Well, for us, we do not carry the eggshell at the moment, but we carry satin, semi-glass, glass, and flat, which we'll consider matte.
Matte.
You know, what it does for the surface, it gives you a different appearance. So it's up to you to which one you love to see. No, if you like to see a sheen on your wall, a semi-sheen, the high glass, or the flat finish. No, it's up to you. The sheen, but it has its benefits.
And what do people gravitate to? Shiny?
Well, some people like shiny because they will clean the wall, they won't paint every year. So they will tend to want to just wipe the wall, and the shiny one help them to observe fingerprints.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting to know. What other tips, what other things are you finding this year with paint selection?
You know, budget-wise, you know, you have paints to suit everyone's budget. You know, you could choose colors that are already shelf colors.
Okay, so let's say I have a really small budget. Many people do. They have pay cuts, they've lost income. All right, so what's one of the most affordable options that I have?
One of the most affordable options is a shelf colors paint that we have ready mixed color that you can just go on the shelf and pick up either in flat or semi-glass or glass.
So when you want to mix a custom color, that's when it becomes more expensive.
Yes, the custom color starts from a range of like $50 and up.
Okay.
Right? Well, the shelf colors will start from a range of $37, and then right now we are having a big 15% discount, so everybody can get
Their paint.
If I want to stay within budget, go for a color that already exists.
already exists
That's
on the
one
shelf.
start.
Yeah.
And the finish, does that have a cost implication?
The finish definitely has a cost implication. The flat paint on the shelves are more cheaper. If you want a semi-glass, usually you could find some colors in semi-glass with a sheen, but mostly the ones that we mix have the different variants where you got semi-glass, glass, and like you say, satin.
Okay. Okay. Good. Now you know. So that's when you're on budget. Now, if I want to get real fancy, tell me.
If you want to get real fancy,
Yes.
and you want to use like the high glass is the most costly of the paint. Yeah, they run in the 90s and even over $100 per can, but it all depends on what you want. We have a true basic that's come from Valspar. That one is,
Right next to you.
Yep, right here.
Yeah.
I'll just be the Vanna White here.
yeah, that is one of our semi-glass, but one of our most costly paints.
Okay. Each, we got
And it's
one
new,
here.
so
Yes.
this is a new line actually, and we brought a couple brochures too, because they have some ideas for you to kind of how to pair the colors together and like the finishes you're talking about. So I think that's one cool thing about it. I think they showed the color chart. Well, we have like a big color display, but it's also in the swatches. But they also have these which kind of make it easy for you, like if you're someone that, let's say you like a certain color and you want it to be your base, and then you want to put other colors around it.
Yeah.
It kind of gives you ideas on how to do that easily. So
Oh my gosh, you guys have the color of my room in this. So I am selective of paint based on their names. It's the worst way to pick paint, Marlene. Don't do it. And see, this is why I picked it.
Nectar of the goddess.
Nice. Sweet.
But it's a lovely color, and the idea of wanting it in a particular shade or satin and so forth, it does make a huge difference, because when I selected the color, I thought it would look like this on my wall, and yeah, I thought it would look like this, but then I ended up purchasing it in flat, I believe, and it created a more
Specialist is nodding.
I'm sorry, a darker color. It was more dark. It was a little bit more oxidized when it came on the wall, and then you have to be selective of the brush that
See, I don't know that part.
that you have, because if you put it with just the regular paintbrush, it shows the swatches of the paintbrush on the wall.
Okay.
You mean the different streaks.
The different streaks,
Yeah.
yes. And so,
Guide us through this problem.
how do you select your paintbrush with your paint for somebody that decided to do something like that?
Okay, usually for a big area, we will recommend that you use a paint roller. A paint roller will give you the perfect rolling on the wall. And when you come to the edges, then you will use a paintbrush, because a roller cannot go in the edges. We have a different paintbrush. We have a trim paintbrush to line up your moldings and different things. Yeah, we have a trim paintbrush. We have regular paintbrush in different sizes. Depends on what you want to see on the wall, no? Yeah, but with a bigger area, it's definitely a roller. A roller is best.
Yeah.
Paintbrush mostly do corners and edges.
Yeah.
Cynthia, what's the biggest mistake that you find people make when they're doing their own painting?
We have the preparation. Preparation is the key to perfect painting job.
What does that mean? Just clean the wall?
Not only clean the wall, but know what is best to go on top of the paint that you already have there. For example, you have that bright orange. You can't go and just paint a white or a different color on top of it, because you will have like the shadow of the next paint showing behind.
Okay.
So what you need to do most of the time, if you come and you say, I have a bright paint, we recommend that you use a primer to kill that color that is there before. Yes, and the primer helps to add adhesion as well to the surface, that the other paint will hold and look perfect.
Okay.
So now you know when
So-
you want to change the paint.
Primer, preparation, and if it's at home. If someone is at home, let's say they have wooden fixtures, you know, sometimes you have the textured wall. What do you do?
You got brushes for textured wall. We have roller sleeve with more nap on it, so that it could go in the little textured. And we have smooth roller for smooth surfaces as well.
See, that I did not know.
There
we
you
have
go.
different.
That's why she's a specialist.
Yes,
I know.
I can see that.
So, Cynthia, how do you help people with this stuff online?
Yeah.
Well, we explain the same thing that I'm explaining here. You go online, you select your color that you want. We help you to select colors, and we tell you the same thing that I'm saying. We find out what kind of wall, if it's wooden surface, concrete surface, what paint is best for concrete surface, what paint is best for wooden surface. For example, if someone is painting a wooden surface, we will always best tell them that oil-based paint works better on wooden surface. If it's an interior, because of the smell, we recommend that you go with a glass or a satin or a semi-glass to paint inside, because of the smell, especially when you're around kids and older people that are more vulnerable to, you know, the oil paint has a real high smell.
What does the online selection look like? So how do you communicate with your customers online? Do they find you on your social media pages? How do they get connected with you?
Well, we could do it through email. We send color swatches. We select colors from the shelf already. We have the pamphlet that show you the different colors. Or we could WhatsApp you. If you said it's a shades of blue, then we WhatsApp you all the shades of blue that we have.
Yeah.
And
How do you know what the color will actually look like? Because you know on paper it's one thing.
Yeah.
well, we advise them on a bigger surface, it will look brighter. For example, if you take a light color and you put it, even the cameras make it look a little bit different.
Well, cameras change the color.
Yes,
every-
the lighting and everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we advise you that if you want a darker paint, Then you could select one step before you reach a darker shade. Like for example, if you're doing a blue,
Yes.
and you want something that look like this, we will recommend that you go here.
The lighter one.
Yeah, especially on bigger surface, especially like where you can see physically, no? Yes.
Okay, and that's good to go light because in case you want it darker,
Yeah,
you can just
Yeah.
always do a transition to a darker color.
When we mix paint, sometimes we do adjustment. The adjustment, if you get a color like this and you wanted one like that, then we will adjust it for you. So as
Okay.
you will get your darker color that you need, your darker shade.
Yeah.
And once the online process is done and everybody select their paints and everybody's happy, how do they get their paints?
Well, we have banking service as well. You pay it through the bank. We provide different bank number, and we can send it on BPMS, or if you have the keys, we send it on the water taxes and right so. But everybody get their paints, no?
And we deliver within the city.
We
but
deliver
for
free
anybody
delivery.
else, yeah.
And where are your offices located countrywide?
So we're at 115 Barak Road. That's our retail, I guess, palace in a sense. But we also have a wholesale distribution on the Western Highway, well, George Price Highway now, 3.75 miles. We can still service customers there, but for the kind of stuff that Cynthia is recommending, you have to go to Barak Road for that, where it's a much more consumer experience. But like she mentioned, if you want, or if you're curious ahead of time, I still recommend you come in. But people often start the process on the phone, start it on WhatsApp, start it on Facebook, sometimes even Instagram, you know, so people are reaching out to us by social media and we're taking care of them. If you get something very specialized, someone like Cynthia would actually get the WhatsApp and then take care of you personally.
Okay.
Although other things that are more general, we tend to take care much more quickly from one of our actual, I guess, virtual attendants.
Okay. And tell us about these discounts that are coming up and how long they're going to last.
Yeah, so, well, they last all month, which is good because if anybody decided that, hey, I couldn't paint quick enough, they could still go in after Christmas. Who knows, right? Although we do see definitely the traffic drops off. But we mentioned stuff about budget, and Cynthia did an excellent job of explaining like different types of paint. But I think there's one more thing that comes into the budget, which is the type of paint, or the brand, I should say.
Okay.
And so we kind of start like at the lower end, I would say, with domestic. And we have a couple of them here. This is the Domestic Plus, which is like a water-based paint. Something that Cynthia was kind of alluding to earlier. You have the kind of finishes with the sheens, but you also have like a sort of big divide between the two types of paint, which one is oil-based and one is water-based, or what they call emulsion. Typically, we use the emulsion for indoors, and oil is usually reserved for things that are wood, for instance. So most people can use emulsion, and if you even have wood, sometimes you could even put emulsion on top of a previous coat that you might have. No, Cynthia?
Okay. So the discount is for all paints?
So yes, thank you for bringing me right back to the point I was supposed to make. But yeah, so we have Domestic, Penta, Berger. We're phasing out Dutch Boy, so there's great deals on Dutch Boy you can get right now.
Is that the
And
stuff on clearance? Because I see a clearance sale too.
yes, yeah, well, so I was going to mention too that yes, and we actually have specific colors in all brands actually. Specific colors though, which are 25 to 30% off. But if you just want all of the regular stuff, it's still 15% off all our decorative paints. So that's 5 brands, and like I said, we're introducing Valspar, which is a super, super good paint, tons of colors as well. And then we also have power tools, generators, pressure washers, windows. So I mean, to me, if it's like you want to do anything to your house, this is the time, pretty much. I think the only thing we don't really have up there is tiles, but we have tiles on clearance too. So that's why it's, you know, we have to ask about the clearance.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you said it lasts all through Christmas? All through
Through the
December, I'm
Month,
sorry.
Yep.
But I'm seeing a 12 days of Christmas here. What's that about?
Yeah, so we also have, well, the usual, although this year it's just so they don't sue me, it's actually 10 days just due to COVID. But the idea is that between us and Habet, we're doing a co-promotion. So they have the same deals at Habet and Habet too, I have to mention that, guys. So you can go either to Brothers Habet on 115 Barak Road or Habet and Habet on Cemetery Road and get the same deals at both locations. So it's very convenient. But starting, I think the 13th, for 10 days, we'll be giving away $500 gift certificates at each location. So you get 5 customers from Brothers Bet and 5 customers from Habet and Habet will be lucky enough to win a $500 gift certificate, and you know they can kind of blow it the same month. So, and if you're savvy, you can stack those with the discounts as well, you know, and
Good.
get even more free stuff essentially. Yeah.
And dress up the house right for Christmas. So what are your opening hours for the season?
So it's 8 to 5 during the weekdays, and we always open through lunch, just so everyone knows. So you can you can pop in during lunch, and then on Saturdays we extended one very key hour to 1 o'clock. So half day, but 1 o'clock on Saturday. So
You'd be surprised how important that key hour is. Yeah.
certainly. No,
Okay.
you're right. Yeah.
All right. Any other tips, Cynthia? What's the right weather to paint indoors?
Definitely on a warm day. You know, moisture trap in the wall and different thing, and you can get a reaction from your paint.
There you go. Didn't know that either, did you?
No, I'm learning so many new things today.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming in. And once again, if you drop by Brothers Habet, you can ask for the paint specialist yourself,
Yes.
Cynthia, to help you out, and you can take advantage of the deals. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for having us.
Yes. Thank you.
We're
very
going to
much.
go ahead and take our final break, and we'll be back in a few. Stay tuned.